Question 7 is a main purpose question, but more importantly, it is also a literature passage. Now, literature passages, we want to find two things. We want to look at the tone and characterization that happens in that passage. And to find these two things, we need to pay special attention to the adjectives and adverbs that are in that passage. So I'm going to pay close attention to what we're describing and how we're describing them specifically in this passage. So in the beginning, we see that the first sentence starts about Miss Pyne, who is sitting by the window in her best dress. She's stately and calm, so she has this kind of presence to her, but she's very quiet, maybe more adult. And she seldom goes out, means she's usually at home. And it was almost time for the carriage. So that's Miss Pyne. She's calm, quiet, very still, nicely dressed, very much an adult, very grown-up feel. Next sentence talks about Martha, who is coming from the garden with these strawberries, and she has flowers, and she's wearing this apron. So she is coming from the outside, and has all of these kind of lively, pretty, fun things with her. So that just seems to be how we're describing Martha. The next sentence goes, it was a bright, cool evening. So I know we're starting to talk about the outside, or the environment in general, and it's bright and cool. There are these golden robins that are singing, and the sun is going down. The house is beautiful, and it's wide open for this long expected guest. So the last part is talking about the general area. Having read that, I'm going to go through my answer choices. Answer choice A says to convey the worries brought about by a new guest. Well, there were no worries about this new guest, and the new guest is not the majority of what we read. Answer choice B says to describe how the characters have changed over time. The characters have not changed over time, or we haven't been describing how they've changed over time. We're just describing how the characters are. Answer choice C says to contrast the activity indoors with the stillness outside. Well, actually, there wasn't any activity indoors. Nothing's happening inside the house. If anything, Miss Pyne is really just sitting very still inside the house. And so for that reason, C is absolutely incorrect. Answer choice D says to depict, which really means to illustrate the setting. Well, we did talk about that, as the characters await a visitor's arrival. So the setting is talking about what's going on in general around the house as the people are waiting for a visitor's arrival. Those are both things we saw in the passage, and for that reason, D is the correct answer choice.